Why does it feel easier to aim with some skins and with others you just can't hit anything? Today you're going to learn the real reason why skins might be ruining your aim. I've conducted an entire research deep dive exploring the darkness corners of our favorite game, and now I'm ready to share the secret knowledge. But before we dive into the technical stuff, think about this. What if it's not just a coincidence? What if some skins really are missing with your gameplay and the devs know about it? In this video we're breaking down the visual, audio and mechanical detail that can mess you with your aim, your focus and even your sense of time in the game. Let's start with sound. In any match we're bombarded with audio, ambient noise, footsteps, comms and of course gunfire. Let's focus on that last one. We'll love a clean sounding Vandal like the Kuronami, sleek Japanese design and crisp, satisfying audio. But if some sounds are clean, does that mean some are not? Let's get a little scientific. Studies show that humans perceive certain sound frequencies as unpleasant. Our ears are especially sensitive to sounds in the 2000 to 5000 Hz range. The same range as nails on chalkboard, foam squeaks or a knife scraping a plate. This response is deeply hardwired into us to evolution. These sounds used to signal danger, a predator screen or class dragon across something. Discomfort with feels is a primal survival instinct kicking in. Now imagine this, you just wanted to chill and play, but your brain is subconsciously panicking like it's about to be eaten by a tiger. All of that adds cognitive load. It's scientifically proven that the more sensory overload we experience, like flashy visuals or harsh sounds, the slower our overall reaction time. Every sight and sound during a gunfight affects how fast we react. So when a skin is too noisy or over-designed, your brain wastes energy trying to filter it out. That tiny delay? In a shooter, that's the difference between clutching or getting clapped. Okay, for example, my favorite Vandal skin is Arcane. It has a very mechanical sound and a specific frequency range. I've noticed similar issues with other Vandal skins like Imander, Origin, and a Sentinels of Light. So, let's go even deeper. Scientists found that when we focus on someone's voice at a noise party, our brain changes its wave activity to isolate that voice and block out the rest. This exact same process happens in Valorant. During fights, your brain wants to focus on one sound, your gunshots. But if these gunshots are too strange, too alien, or just straight up unpleasant, your brain puts more focus on the sound instead of the enemy you're supposed to shoot. You might not even notice it, you just feel a little off. Now sure, you could just say, okay, I'll use a cleaner sounding gun. But what if I tell you there's more? Take this Vandal skin for example. At first it sounds clean, but listen closely, there is echo after every shoot. That echo is more than just an aesthetic choice. Long echoes actually mess with your perception. You fire once, but your brain hears that long tail and get confused. It feels like the shot is still happening, so now you don't clearly register when the bullet landed. Let's do a quick test. Close your eyes and listen how many shots I fire. First a clean Vandal. And now the one with echo. You could probably tell the difference. Even if you guessed right, I bet you felt that seconds one was off. Like your brain couldn't quite tell when the moment ended. Or maybe I just imagining things. Hope I didn't bore you with the sound science, but we're not done yet. Let's talk about delay. Have you ever noticed that some skins feel like the shoot sounds and bullet animation are slightly out of sync? Especially during sprays. Well, you're not crazy. Some skins actually do have a slight delay between the visual recoil and the actual gunshot sounds. Here's an example, slow down for clarity. It might seem like a small detail, but it messes with your brain think. Your eyes and ears aren't working together anymore. It's like watching a movie where the audio doesn't match the actor's mouth. Super annoying at first, right? Same things happens in-game. Your brain expects movement and sound to match, and when they don't, you lose focus even if you don't realize why. And here's the weird part. Sometimes you use a skin with a bad sound, weird animation, and tons of visual clutter, but you still feel comfortable with it. Why? Neuropsychology of habit. There is something called the first choose anchor effect. If the first skin you ever fell in love with was, say, the river, your brain builds a deep emotional connection to it. Even if it's not optimal, it becomes your comfort zone. It's not about aim, not even about skill. It's your brain saying, hey, we know this one, we used this before, let's stick with it. That illusion of comfort, it might be the very thing that's holding you back from really improving. Alright, we've tackled sound, now let's talk visuals. Valorant is full of gorgeous skins with flash effects and yeah, I absolutely love that stuff. But some skins literally ruin your game. One of the biggest offenders for me is the Radiant Crisis 001. Not only do they constantly pull your attention because their style clashes completely with the look of the game, but during shooting, there is just too much visual noise on your screen. Let me show you what I mean. Here is a simple image, and I've added a small object in a deeper entire style. Surprisingly, even though it's tiny and off-center, your eyes lock onto it instantly. That's just how our brains work. They automatically notice whatever feels out of place. And that's exactly the problem. Some skins just don't belong in a game visual style, and your brain knows it. Even if you focused on crosshair placement, your attention is leaking toward elements that feel off. Now what about post-shot effects? The flares that appear after a shoot vary from skin to skin, and our brain reacts to them differently. If these muzzle flashes are too bright, too sharp, or just look wrong, your brain instinctively wants to look away. Of course, you won't actually turn your eyes, you're locked in your target. But there's still a tiny conflict happening under the hood. Our brain thinking, yo, something flashing right in the center of our vision, is that a threat? So now you're not just aiming at the enemy, you're resisting a biological instinct. And guess what? That resistance costs you. It might be just a sliver of focus, a tiny drop in your concentration, but in Valorant, that's all it takes to miss the kill. Bullet traces might seem like a small detail, but they're actually a crucial part of how we play, even if we don't consciously notice them most of the time. They show us where our shots are going. Especially during a spray, traces help us adjust our aim in real time. But here's something interesting I discovered. Not all weapons or skins actually have proper traces. Yeah, you heard it right. I first noticed it when a friend of mine bought a Phantom Blast Axe. Cool looking, great sound, everything seemed fine, until I watched his spray. And I was like, wait, where the hell are your traces? They were barely visible, like they only show up at the very end when the bullet is basically about to hit the target, which makes spray control way harder than it should be. Now compare that to a Phantom with the Araxi skin. This skin has some of the best traces I've ever seen. Clear, sharp, easy to track. Just look at the difference side by side. It blows my mind that this detail gets overlooked. Because in a competitive game like Valorant, even the smallest visual tweaks can be the difference between winning and getting clapped. I decided to put this section separately from the sound chapter, even though it's technically about sound, but this one a bit different. Let's go back to that toy-like Phantom skin. Now just try spraying into a wall. Something feel off? And let's compare it to the default Phantom. Did you catch it? If not, listen closely. In the first example, the sound stays exactly the same from the first bullet to the last. You can't really tell. either the third bullet or you're already out of the mag. But with the default skin, the sound changes as you keep firing. It gives you a better sense of timing. You can feel when it's time to pull your aim down or start adjusting the spray. And yeah, I get it, full spraying isn't always the meta in Valorant, but let's be honest, we all had these moments. And if you've been playing shooters for a while, you're not just reacting to what you see, you're also reacting to what you hear, even if you're not fully aware of it. As we talked about earlier, sounds is processed faster by the brain than visuals. So that split-second audio cue could be the difference between landing your kill or getting out-aimed. Honestly, I didn't think this would be a big deal, but once I noticed it, it became just as important to me as visuals or tracer clarity. So here's my advice. If your favorite skin had this problem, try switching it up. Grab a simpler skin with more dynamic sound. Give it a few matches. Just see if it feels smoother. And mini test for you, play 5 games with your go-to skin, the one you love and feel at home with. Then switch to something simple, minimalist, even default. Notice anything? Suddenly feel like your shoots are letting easier? I'd love to hear how it felt for you, drop in the comments. So now you know, skins can actually affect your gameplay. Of course, it's not a magic fix. There are tons of factors that make you a better player, but every little detail can give you an extra edge, the one moment that turns a loss into a clutch. Don't forget, comfort in the game isn't just about habit, it's also about making conscious choices, the one that helps you play better, aim faster, and focus deeper. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and share it with a friend who always blames to their aim on skins. Drop a comment down below and let me know what's your most comfortable skin and which one completely ruins your aim. And hey, if you have your own tips for how skins affect your gameplay, I'd love to hear them. See you next time, bye bye.